Admiral Sila's personal log. Our alliance with Toral in this Klingon war has proven to be more trouble than it's worth. In the last Klingon raid, one of our top scientists, Dr. Uldan, was captured. Uldan was working on the Phoenix Project, a new weapon essential to our war efforts. I've requested the aid of one of the Tal Shiar's top operatives to help get him back. Agent Tosan. Dr. Uldan is being held in the Klingon prison colony in this sector. We must get him before he is transferred off the prison colony.
Just get me on the station. I'll take care of the rest.
Welcome back to Star Trek Armada, guys, and I apologise for the enormous delay that we had. Basically, what happened was that I ended up sitting on my headset and breaking the sound card in it. I have to confess I'm not exactly the smallest person on the planet. So I had to order a new sound card for it, which just came through, and fortunately it worked. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I thought that I would end up spending sort of £50 to £60 on a new headset, and it turns out I was able to solve it for £6. So pretty good beat all round. This time out we are starting as the Romulans, who are one of my favourite races in this game. They are just sneaky, devious, their special weapons are awesome. They are an absolute blast to play, certainly in single player. The only weakness that the Romulans really have is the fact that they are hideous at defending their ships from attack.
Station complete. What is the request?
Which means that when the Borg decide to go after you, you are at a real disadvantage if you're the Romulans. The Borg will pulverise you if they start beaming over to your ship. But we're not up against the Borg in this mission, we're up against the Klingons, which can actually be just as bad, because if the Klingons have their Sukjar commander ship, that basically means that whenever they launch that pod, I'm going to lose a hell of a lot of crew. So consequently my stationary objects are always going to be kept at full health. For the purposes here, I'm actually going to double expand really quickly in this level.
Proceeding with ship construction.
The overall target is to get the scientist back who's working on the Phoenix Project. We will find out what that is at a later date. But for the moment, the Klingons are pretty defensive in this area. They're not really certain that we're here, and they don't do sensible things like build tachyon detection grids or anything like that. So I am completely in the clear as long as I'm under Cloak to do pretty much whatever I want. I've sent out my scout ship and 2 Raptor class ships, which are the Romulans' artillery ship. I've sent them out to do a little bit of scouting, and while that's happening, I'm going to get my dilithium mining operation up and running, and hopefully we can get into a decent position by the time the Klingons realise that we're here.
Received. What is the request?
Station complete. Starship complete.
Received. I'm building the covert ops facility now because we're going to need to research Romulan spy in order to get ahead with the mission. One thing you will have noticed is that the Romulan stations are actually cheaper than the equivalent Klingon, Borg and Federation ones. I don't know if that's an error or so, or something that was made for balancing reasons, but it does make the game, it does make getting set up as the Romulans that little bit easier.
Starship complete.
One thing building the weapons center also does means that we can build Raptor and Griffins.
Orders received.
Griffins are essentially just the standard sort of beaming cruiser for this game for the Romulans.
What are your orders?
Probably the equivalent of the Federation
Station
of Kara, the Klingon Vulture and the Borg Sphere. Their special weapon's quite nice. It's a sensor jammer. You'll have seen it when I was playing as the Klingons in the last mission. It can be extremely irritating.
Station construction in progress.
And the Raptor is the artillery ship which fires tricobalt torpedoes, and you'll see those in the next. You'll see those coming up in this mission. During the time that I was away and not recording the voiceovers for this LP, I did complete this game, so hopefully the videos will be coming out quite thick and fast once we start up. Romulan Spy is one of my favourite abilities in the game. It allows you to see everything that your enemy has, which is a massive boost.
More dilithium is required.
And I'm just going to start building up a fleet full of Griffins here.
Proceeding with ship construction.
I did have a bit of a problem on the last few missions with
more dilithium is required.
The game's stability, essentially, due to the fact that the engine isn't precise. The engine isn't brilliant at handling a huge amount of objects, and on the last mission especially, the sector is just crawling with all sorts of ships. So the engine essentially gets overloaded and crashes, and it made for a very frustrating time. Bit of a spoiler alert, the final mission is going to be an hour long, or at least the video for it is going to be an hour long. But it took me about 5 hours of recording because it was just an absolute nightmare to record. I was literally saving every 3 or 4 minutes just to try and get at least somewhere in the mission before it crashed again. Strangely enough, I tried Star Trek Armada 2 on my actual LPing computer, and it was smooth as silk, no graphical glitches or anything like that. So Armada 1, I'm afraid, suffers from probably the programming of the time. Graphics and things like that have moved on since then, and unfortunately the holes that were left in it are exacerbated somewhat on modern day systems. We've got the advanced shipyard now, which means that I can start building warbirds, so I'm going to cancel my Griffin construction. I have a full group of them, which is all I really need.
Proceed, Centurion.
The Roman Empire of the 24th century, you've got to love them. I'm going to slam down another starbase here, because if I'm going to start building warbirds all over the place, I am really going to have crew, because warbirds require 400 crew each. Warbirds actually have, in my opinion, one of the best special weapons in the game, and it's this, which is the shield inversion beam. You will see me abuse that to a massive extent throughout the Romulan campaign. I'm going to build another starbase down here just to once again improve crew flow and spend a little bit of the dilithium that I'm developing a trust fund for. Unfortunately, that kind of happens when you've got 3 dilithium moons. You just need a hell of a lot of mining. Oh, my scout has got into the Klingon base, found a Feklar class ship and a lot of turrets. So if I'm going to attack that, I would rather not go in with a load of ships, because the turrets will probably blow my ships apart, but we have ways round that. And here's Starbase number 3 going down.
Foundation.
Station construction in progress.
I probably get a little bit OTT here about recrewing the starbase. I don't think that it really needs to be done that much. That said, the Klingons are extremely good at boarding ships, and the Romulans are pretty rubbish at defending, so it can't really be a bad thing. So I'm going to start building up my fleet of warbirds, and from the Imperial shipyard...
Relax the soldiers.
Sorry, this is the normal shipyard. From the normal shipyard, I'm going to start building Raptors. They're going to be my key to win this mission with very few casualties.
Engage engines.
What is the request?
I'm building the Tal Shiar facility here, which is the Romulan Special Weapons Station, which is used for the Shadow, which is the Romulan Special Weapons ship. I don't really intend to use the Shadow in this mission, but I suppose spare dilithium, etc.
We serve only the Tal Shiar.
At this point, I'm going to start the first objective of the mission, which is to implant a Romulan spy. Not that I really need to, because I can see everything already, but that doesn't really matter too much. Just going to research some bits and pieces for the Shadow here.
New research has begun.
Psycho Blast just causes the ship's crew that it's fired at to kill each other. Very effective against the Borg. For those of you who just want a little bit of background, nerd alert. Just going to build another starbase to get even more people on board now. The Romulan leader in this campaign is Admiral Sealer, and she is the result of what happens when you piss around with the timeline too much. Essentially, she is the daughter of an alternate version of Tasha Yar, who was the security chief on the Enterprise D when it was first launched. The normal version of Tasha was just killed in universe. However, an alternate version was created via a time loop, and that version ended up going into the past and being captured by Romulans, and the result of a union between her and a Romulan general has come up with Sealer, who is half human, half Romulan. And depending on what source you read, she's either a disgraced Romulan general now, or I believe in Star Trek Online she's actually the Romulan Praetor, so really depends on who you think's canon, to be fair. Although what is canon these days in the Star Trek universe is pretty much impossible to work out. I'm just researching random stuff at this point to keep things going, and now I'm going to implant the Romulan spy in the Klingon base. You can actually use Romulan spy on turrets, which makes it really, really easy to use. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to stick it on the starbase.
I'm inside. This place is more heavily guarded than I thought. I'm gonna try to disable their defense systems. Prepare an attack force.
Already on that one.
We have the superior firepower.
But as you can see, everything revealed.
I am yours to command.
It doesn't last forever, however, you still do get an overview of the location of everything. As you can see, it's just disappeared there. I had my ships moving under Cloak, but unfortunately they had the stupid idea of passing through a Cerulean Nebula. There's one of my Raptors doing exactly the same. If you pass through a Cerulean Nebula under Cloak, you decloak. And unlike the red nebulas, which the ships will actively avoid, the ships just decide to go through cerulean nebulas even when they're under cloak, so that's really irritating. 2 suck jars here. They're launching their commando pods, which are annoying. I'm not going to hide that fact.
Proceed,
I'm going to put my ships back under cloak and try and guide them round the nebula.
What are your orders?
I'm now building a 3rd
Proceed.
advanced shipyard because I have enough dilithium basically coming out of everywhere at this point, and one of my griffins has decloaked again.
Engage the enemy.
Oh, just kill them. Birds of Prey are as useless here as they are in the Klingon campaign, so they're not going to cause me much threat.
Starship complete.
It's just annoying that my ships found it in their best interest to decloak, and in fact I've got 2 decloaked raptors here, so I'm just going to cloak those individually.
Have the superior firepower.
Worst voice acting ever.
Yours to command.
Well, not
It shall
quite,
be
but
done.
it's still quite funny listening to them. I just picture the comic book guy on all of them. Oh, looks like a small fleet's trying to figure out what's gone on here. Well, this is quite embarrassing. No, there's no Romulan fleet here at all. Nothing is blocking your path. You have an engine failure, honestly. Space is not 3-dimensional. Oh well, let's get going. I'm just waiting for another squadron of warbirds.
The defenses will be down in
commence the
4
attack. To be
minutes.
honest, I've got enough now, but bit of excess never hurt anyone.
Station is under attack. Starship complete.
My crew is ready.
Three more minutes until defenses are offline.
First appearance there of the shield inversion beam from the warbird, and even just with 2 warbirds it drains a cruiser's shields pretty much immediately, and if you have a full
Defenses will be
fleet
lowered
of
in less than a minute.
warbirds then
Be ready.
pretty much anything is going to
Officers
lose
have
its
arrived.
shields extremely rapidly.
Moving out.
So my entire fleet is now moving under cloak, and we've only got a minute or so left
Warbird
until the
reporting.
defences go down.
Warbird reporting.
I wish this Natevar would move, it'd make things a lot easier for me overall. Oh, there it goes.
Starship complete. We lack the soldiers.
Just as his defences are about to go down. Oh, there goes another couple.
Proceeding with ship construction.
How useful. Let's get to
What
it.
is the request? Warbird reporting.
We have engaged the enemy.
Decloaking everything.
It is more brave to live than to die.
And there you see the
Station is under
tri-cobalt
attack.
torpedoes. They have
Yours to command.
ridiculous range.
Proceed, Centurion.
It's actually
Engage
beyond
engines.
visual range, so we just need people to scout for us, and that's what the Griffins are going to do for us here. So enjoy watching the
My
defences
life for the
fall.
Empire.
What is the request?
'Tis more brave to live than to die.
Starship complete. Starship complete. We lack the soldiers. Proceeding with ship construction.
'Tis more brave to live than to die.
We have engaged the enemy. Starship complete. We lack the soldiers.
'Tis more brave to live than to die.
Yes, I am completely and utterly failing to be able to control my cloaks.
Proceeding with ship
But
construction.
fortunately, with the defences down, all it is shooting down the turrets at this point. It's just really
officers have
irritating sometimes when I try and get the... Oh my god, no, 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 no!
Engage those
Phew, that was close. Tri-cobalt torpedoes do actually do quite a number on ships as well as stationary targets. Of course, our objective here is not to destroy the starbase. We have to keep it intact for the moment.
What is the request? How may I serve?
Just making sure all my griffins are
yours to
cloaked, because they are showing a really stupid tendency to decloak.
Starship
Oh no,
complete.
one's getting too close here. That's too close, that's much too close.
More officers have arrived.
Well, he probably deserved it.
We have engaged the enemy. More officers have arrived.
We have taken the last of the dilithium from this sector.
I just love how the collateral damage takes out the birds of prey.
To live than to die.
See how effective these are in a shipyard.
'Tis more brave to
Not
live.
bad at all, really. A
than to
couple of
die.
volleys and down goes the shipyard. As you can see, against stationary targets, as long as you've got something to protect
Tis more
raptors,
brave to
they are
live
going to do a number
than to
on an
die.
enemy base. Especially since they can do it from outside of sensor range. And speaking of doing a number,
What is the request?
oh, I'm going to chicken out, it looks like.
Nothing left.
Maybe.
Acknowledged.
Down goes the torpedo turrets.
We have engaged the enemy.
This really is just a
My
one-army
life was
wrecking
empire.
crew, really.
Warbird reporting.
I've been discovered. They've re-enabled their defenses. Better hurry.
Well,
I won't be able to hold out for very long.
they've re-enabled what's left of them, given they now have almost no turrets left, and
Engage those treacherous fools.
their shipyard's been destroyed. But how do you like this, Nate Var? Yep, one volley destroyed a Nate Var.
We have engaged the enemy.
Continuing to move through his base at this point. I apologise for the cut there, but the game, as you probably guessed, crashed a couple of seconds later, so I was kind of lucky to get the video for that. I've got to be extremely careful with my attack on the starbase. I can't destroy it. And that's the end of that. So there'll be no more Nate Vars either. So with that dealt with, I'm going to do a precision attack with Griffins for the moment. I don't
What
want
is
to
the
be damaging the
request?
starbase.
We have engaged the enemy.
We have taken the last of the dilithium from this sector.
Warbird reporting.
They've transferred Aldan to the convoy ship. We have to retrieve them before they leave this sector.
Head to these coordinates.
Yep, we have to
Yours
use
to
the
command.
crappiest race at invading other species
My
ships
crew
to
is ready.
take over the strongest.
What is the
As you can see, my ships are getting a little bit overzealous
Warbird
here. If I
reporting.
destroy this ship, that would be so bad. But even though we're quite bad, 8 warbirds have more than enough people just to sacrifice them to take over this ship.
Warbird reporting.
We must return
may-
Uldan to our starbase immediately.
Your will.
We have engaged
It may
the
look
enemy.
like a Feklar
Orders
class
received.
ship, but it's actually a prison ship.
Yes.
They didn't get lazy
My
with the
crew is
design
ready.
at all.
Warbird reporting.
This ship really gives you
Moving
lip.
out.
Has the same voiceover as the Shadow, which gives you an awful lot of lip for disturbing it.
Head to these coordinates.
We have the superior firepower.
So let's get
How may
this
I
to our
serve?
starbase.
Proceed, Centurion.
Your will. Your will. Proceeding.
Pretty big escort force.
Moving out.
Now there is supposed to be a cutscene telling you to get rid of all the Klingons
Oh,
in the
very
sector.
well.
But for some reason it doesn't trigger here. Possibly because I built multiple star bases. I honestly don't know what it is, but it did annoy me.
Oh, very well.
Stop giving me lip. And you of course know what happens when I get annoyed. Yep, I'm gonna blow everything up. Fortunately, this
Warbird
doesn't
reporting.
result in a mission
Warbird
crash,
reporting.
and I eventually figure it out.
Your
so
will.
that
shall
will be
be
the
done.
end of this mission.
Warbird
Odin is
reporting.
safe. The Klingon base is being destroyed as we speak, and that means the Phoenix project can continue. The only thing we have to deal with now is
Starship
what
complete.
will the Tal Shiar want in payment, because
Starship
the
complete.
Tal Shiar are not known for their charity.
Starship
so
complete.
I will see you next time.
Your will.
We have engaged the enemy.
Warbird reporting.
I am yours to command. Destroy that target. How may I serve?
'Tis more brave to live than to die.
What is it now? What is it now? Starship complete. Starship complete. Starship complete.
I have sent Dr. Uldan back to Romulus so he can continue his work on the Phoenix project. You are to be commended on your participation in this mission.
The Tal Shiar has helped you. I've been informed it's time for you to repay the favor. You are to meet Agent Joe Parr in the Devron system immediately. He will give you further instructions.
I have important matters which must take priority.
There will be no discussions on this matter. These orders come directly from the Praetor himself. Be sharp, Admiral Sela. You'll need all of your wits about you.